My name is Gerard McCallum, and I've had the pleasure of being a part of this community working to bring economic development to the city of Inglewood. And this is probably one of the last key linchpins of what we need to do to be able to really create a robust entertainment district here in the city of Inglewood. As many of you know, we're sitting here in a lot that has been empty for over 20 years, and it's my pleasure to bring to the podium the author of a bill in Sacramento that's going to help us make sure that this dream becomes a reality. So welcome Assemblymember Sydney Kamlager-Dove. Thank you.
Thank you. I know, it's so hard. I get it all the time, no worries. Well, good morning, Inglewood. How are you? And thank you for joining us to talk about AB 987. I want you to know, I have only been in office a few weeks, and this is the first bill that has come across my desk that has the potential to put tens of thousands of jobs in my district. This bill, yes, this bill will facilitate the development of an amazing sports arena and so much more without the use of public funds. This bill will expedite the judicial review of any challenges to the environmental impact report that will be conducted for this project. And it will not bypass or be exempt of CEQA or local and on-site mitigation. Why is this needed, you ask? And what do all those big words mean? Under CEQA, opponents have the ability to use legal challenges to stall or stop a project for years and years. These delays can mean the difference between a project happening or dying on the vine. Inglewood and the communities in my district have waited long enough. Jobs are what we need. An increased tax base is what we need. Responsible development with a community connection is what we need. 29% of the children living in my district, in the 54th, live in poverty or below the poverty line. Tell me that's okay. It's not. Creating job opportunities for Black and brown women and men, responsibly developing an arena that results in a 20% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions, and bringing community benefits to this community and to my district is what this bill has the potential to do. And let's be clear, folks. Despite its champion history and hosting of many historic events, Inglewood has been forgotten. This is a responsible bill, and it's conversant. It is the result of community dialogue, and it will continue to be about that. Jobs move us into the middle class. They build us up, and not just for today, but for tomorrow and generations to come. So as far as I'm concerned, this bill is a jobs package. It's about bringing economic opportunities to 31% of my district by creating full-time permanent construction and operational jobs and boosting revenue at existing establishments. So I'm excited to stand with Steve BALLMER, who I believe will not neglect this opportunity to invest in real economic partnership here in Inglewood and in South LA. And I'm going to work diligently with my co-author, Senator Steve Bradford. I'm going to make him work diligently with me. You know, he's my fraternity brother, so he can't be too mean to me. I am counting on him to bring this bill to fruition, and I am counting on Mayor Butts and the entire Inglewood City Council to use their muscle for good. You know, when I was little, and I'm not from Los Angeles, I'm from Chicago, but when I was little, I would come out here. That's right, Chicago in the house. When I was little, I would come with my dad to Hollywood Park to bet at the races. And I remember the days of Showtime in Inglewood. There was majesty about this place. And we are going to bring that majesty back 2018 style. So I want to thank the folks on the dais with me and I look forward to working with each and every one of you on making sure this bill passes. And now I want to bring the man with the master plan to the stage, the chairman of the LA Clippers, Mr. Steve BALLMER.
Good morning. First, I want to sincerely thank Assemblywoman Kamlager-Dove and Senator Bradford for their leadership in moving this legislation forward. It's very important to us. Thank you, Mayor Butts. Mayor Butts has been unbelievably supportive to us. We really appreciate it, and we got a lot of work to do together. And also, I want to thank all of the folks who are here from the community, local businesses, organized labor, and community folks. It is really an honor to have a chance to sit here today and talk about what I think will be an incredible, incredible building that we can put in here in Inglewood. This is not a complicated thing we're talking about. I want to build a house in Inglewood. It's about that simple. We don't have our own house. We'd like to have our own house right here on this site. And so I'm excited to get a little bit of the help we need to build our house here in Inglewood. And I'm very, very committed to that and very excited about that opportunity. Now, the folks who are working with us to make that happen, maybe I could do some introductions. First, GILLIAN ZUCKER, CEO of the Clippers. Second, a man who needs absolutely no introduction. People are trying to, what do I call you? What do I call you? Let's just keep it simple. Doc. Next, I'd like to introduce the first person to play professional basketball in Inglewood. He had 4 other guys with him at the time. Please welcome Jerry West. We've made a promise to Clipper fans. We want to build an unparalleled experience for enjoying basketball, for getting excited, for coming together as a community. And that's important to us. We want this to be a draw for athletes, for fans, for the community. We think that's very important. I really do want this to be the best basketball facility and complex in the NBA, bar none, and we're willing to make that investment. But we also want it to be the best community site that it can possibly be. A place where we can bring children together for various activities. We're thinking all of that through. But unparalleled basketball, get in there, get pumped up, get enthusiastic, and get enthusiastic in Inglewood. It's also exciting for me to have a chance to be here because when I'm not doing Clipper stuff, the bulk of my time is invested with my wife, Connie, in focusing in on providing opportunity to kids to move up economically, kids particularly who might not otherwise get an opportunity. 29% was the number I heard of kids who are growing up in the Assemblywoman's district. And I think it's important to give kids an opportunity. And while we're focused broadly in LA County, you let us put this arena here, which I hope we will. It gives us a unique opportunity to do even more for kids in this area. Look at where we're all standing today. It's a piece of dirt, and it really is a piece of dirt. That's good for us. It's almost easier to have a piece of dirt to go build something, and we're excited about that. We're sitting here in the landing path to LAX. We can really do some amazing, amazing things here. We bring a lot of enthusiasm. People say, are you in? We're all in. We're going to do this. We're going to do this with the help and support of the community, of business, of labor, of the mayor, of the Assembly, and of the California State Senate. Appreciate your being here today. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for that. So now I'm going to bring to the stage the CEO of the Clippers organization, GILLIAN ZUCKER.
Thanks, Gerard. I love the energy in this room. You can see I'm no stranger to high energy. And it's great to be back here in Inglewood today. And I say back because we're not new to the Inglewood community. The Clippers have been working with families and kids on community projects here for many years. I'd like to share just one. 2 years ago, almost to the day, the Clippers and the Inglewood Unified School District took the lead in proving that through public-private partnership, enormous positive change is possible. Through that initiative, we provided free eyeglasses to every child who needed them in the entire Inglewood School District. Yeah. That deserves your applause because it's been touted as the largest school system in America that solved the vision crisis for school-aged children. And it's cemented in our minds that Inglewood is our kind of partner. We've been in this community in a new way for the past year, having discussions and conducting a transparent process to permanently make Inglewood the home of the Clippers. A process that includes a complete environmental impact report, development of parking and traffic management plans, and a very robust array of community benefits. You already know the economic ripple for a community that has a basketball franchise. You know the civic pride. You know that guests patronize Inglewood businesses, grabbing something to eat or stopping for gas on the way to or from a game. You also know we're not seeking special treatment. This proposed legislation is consistent with what other sports complexes have received in this state over the last 10 years. What we are doing is reconfirming our pledge to be an outstanding corporate citizen in the City of Inglewood and to demonstrate the Clippers' commitment to high environmental standards as we take on one more step toward our goal of building a state-of-the-art arena and a corporate campus for the LA Clippers. Thanks for all your support.
Thank you, Gillian. And now, welcome to the podium, Doc Rivers.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. And I'm from Chicago as well. And I don't, you guys were clapping that Showtime. I don't remember that as such a great time. Personally, for me, for some of you guys, it might have been great. For me, not so great. Let me tell you, this is really exciting. I've done a lot in the NBA as a player. Made the All-Star team once. Jerry, you made it like 17 times. I won a world championship against, never mind. You don't have to worry about that. But what I haven't been is a part of an arena and bringing an arena to a community. And I can tell you, I am so excited about it. I love the fact that we're using no public funds. The man behind me is doing that for all of us. All right? And I look at this as an opportunity for us, the LA Clippers, to call a place home, and Inglewood will be our home. And so when we say we're going back home, we can say we're going back to Inglewood. And that's key for us. That's really important for us. Our players, our staff, and everybody associated with the Clippers can't wait to get involved in the community of Inglewood. And just the fact that we can keep coming home to this place will be huge for us. So again, I'm just here to say thank you, to tell you that I'm extremely excited about this opportunity. And we're gonna build the greatest basketball arena. Steve said in the NBA, we're gonna build, since we're using this money, I can go higher. We're gonna build the greatest basketball arena in the world. That's what we're gonna do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Doc. We appreciate that. And now to the stage, NBA legend, Jerry West.
First of all, my goodness, I remember the last time I left Inglewood, one of the saddest days of my life. I almost felt we had abandoned this city, but progress goes on. I think you can see by Mr. BALLMER's lack of enthusiasm for things what kind of man he really is. I read this quote one time, to lead is to serve. The spotlight should not be on the lead, not on the leader, but on the lead. The City of Inglewood, when I first came here, I was shocked at how the people not only accepted the Lakers franchise being here, but also what I saw during my time here, the little businesses that sprung up. I couldn't walk anywhere in Inglewood, or we'd go eat in all these little places. If there's a new one that was there, we would go eat at those places. And when we left, I truly felt we had lost something very, very, very sad. I'm very loyal. I believe in loyalty. And for the people who saw those teams back in those days perform and enjoyed that performance, it's just amazing to me how you feel a little part of you is gone when it's still not here. Well, we're going to bring something back here. And one of the things I would mention about Mr. BALLMER is this. He's a giver, but he's a quiet giver. He's understated in what he does for people. He's understated in his desire to help young kids get an education. And at the end of the day, life is about education today. But for me, this is a very, very exciting day. I was there when they broke ground at the Great Western Forum at that time. I was over there the other night doing something with my friend James Worthy. I didn't even recognize the place. That was the most fan-friendly place at that time, by far, by far. There was really only one way to get to the forum, is the 405 freeway, or for people coming here driving west on, Manchester. Today, there's a lot of access to this soon beautiful building. There's always roadblocks in the way, but people who care and people who want to improve the community, people who want to make it better for our young kids, give them an opportunity to come and see a game. I will guarantee you what they're going to do, they're going to drag their friends, eventually they're going to drag their families back to this new beautiful building. But for everyone who was around when I was playing, for the time I spent there involved in leadership, I want to truly thank you for the incredible enthusiasm you showed for me personally. As I say, I'm old-fashioned, real old-fashioned, but I like to live modern. And for those days to come back, it will make me very proud, very proud. You have a big new building over here, the football stadium, right? Do you remember when the Rams left town? They say you can't come home. You damn sure can come home. The Clippers are coming home.
Thank you so much. Now I want to welcome to the stage the co-author and a great friend of City of Inglewood and just a great personal friend of mine, Steve Bradford.
Good morning. It is truly a great day in Inglewood. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. I am truly honored to be on stage with basketball legends and luminaries such as Doc Rivers and Jerry West, with a business visionary such as Steve BALLMER, but civic leaders and public servants like this mayor and this council. They're making Inglewood great again. I'm honored to join my colleague in the legislature, Sydney Kamlager, in being the co-author of this bill. Many of you know I had a similar vehicle last year and we ran into a few roadblocks, but we've been working since that period of time to make sure that we get all ducks in line. We're meeting with all community groups, everybody who's involved in this. We have labor involved. We have all the folks that are important. The community residents, everyone's on board on this issue to move Inglewood forward. 50 years ago, Jerry West made Inglewood famous. A little over 20 years ago, Tupac made it infamous. But this council today, with Mr. BALLMER's help, will make Inglewood prominent and relevant once again. Today is not about a basketball arena. It's not about entertainment. It's about reinvesting and revitalizing a community that has been ignored for over 20-something years. I know so because I have represented Inglewood for the last 21 years, either as a region manager of a major corporation or as in the last 8 years as your elected official. Inglewood has been ignored. Now we have folks like Mr. BALLMER and the Clippers making an investment in the city. We need to stand up and be excited about it. I am one of the individuals who voted on all 5 CEQA exemptions for arenas in the legislature over the last 9 years. All of them sailed through the legislature. Know the only difference between this one and the other ones? They were in prominent communities, not in a community that's led by black and brown elected officials. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. I was the co-author of Farmers Field Bill, sailed through the legislature. I voted for the Golden One in Sacramento, sailed through the legislature. We voted for the Santa Clara Stadium for the San Francisco Giants, sailed through. This bill should move just as easy as those other ones. The only difference, my folks, is where we're doing it. Black and brown people fighting for self-determination and revitalization. I stand tall, ready to work not only with this council, with Mr. BALLMER, and this community, and moving Inglewood forward. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Senator Bradford. Now I want to welcome to the stage, you've heard that word, revitalization, but to revitalize, you need a catalyst. You need somebody with a vision. And that vision actually started with the mayor of Inglewood. Can you welcome to the stage, Mayor James Butts.
My people. My people. I want to thank Steve BALLMER, GILLIAN, ZUCKER, the Assemblywoman and the Senator for coming here today to celebrate with us. I first met Jerry West when I was a patrolman in the Inglewood Police Department, working overtime in the Laker game, standing behind him and Wilt Chamberlain. That's how far back we go. He don't know it, but I know it. When I left Inglewood, we had the Lakers, the Kings. Forum was going. Racetrack was doing 43,000 people a day. And we had the Sizzler and the Big Donut. I left to go to Santa Monica, came back in 2011 as the mayor, and what we had left was the Sizzler and the Big Donut. And an $18 million debt that was going to bankrupt us. I make this analogy now about Inglewood. No one would have ever believed that the city of Inglewood would be where it is today. I compare us to the Matrix. Who saw the Matrix? Remember, Neo couldn't do nothing outside the Matrix, but inside the Matrix, because he had will, a sense of self-determination, and he believed everything was possible. Now look at us here. Now I want to introduce you to the other members of the Matrix right now. Eloy Morales, Ralph Franklin, Alex Padilla, George Dotson, Artie Fields, who's Morpheus, Melanie McDade, our executive assistant. The longest serving elected official in the history of the city of Inglewood is our treasurer, Wanda Brown. I support the Assemblywoman's bill because it provides certainty for this project. This is a long process that includes a full environmental impact report and community input. And when it's all said and done, Here's what we don't want to see happen. Competing business interests that come in and attempt to weaponize the California Environmental Quality Act in an attempt to delay and kill this job-creating and revenue-generating project that will provide property taxes for the state that fund our schools. This is not what CEQA is for. When all of you drove here today, I hope you noticed the construction cranes throughout the city. In 2014, we opened a new teen center. In January this year, we opened a $27 million, 35,000 square foot senior center, the largest in the state of California. The Girl Scouts of the United States have purchased property on North La Brea to renovate and move their regional headquarters from Marina del Rey to Inglewood. Now, as we all know, when the Girl Scouts come, it's all over. We're negotiating with the LA Philharmonic right this moment to move their youth orchestra program from Los Angeles to Inglewood. I cannot wait for the Clippers to be part of the city of Inglewood. They're going to build on land that the FAA long ago declared not fit for residential use. This land that you're sitting on right now has sat empty, blighted, and undeveloped for 20 to 30 years, depending on which parcel we're talking about. This land has not produced $1 of tax revenue for the city of Inglewood, the county of Los Angeles, or the state of California. These projects that we've engaged in since 2014 are good for our residents and good for our children. We have a 35% local hire goal for these construction jobs that pay prevailing wages. When I took office, unemployment in Inglewood was 17.5%, among the highest in the state of California. Today, that rate has dropped to 5.5%. In 2017 alone, $166 million in subcontracts were awarded to minority and women-led disadvantaged businesses. This is the type of impact that major developments, like a football stadium or a basketball arena, can have on this community. This project is 100% owner financed with no public funds involved. It gives us the opportunity to sell city-controlled land to a buyer who will create thousands of jobs for Inglewood residents. That same buyer, Steve BALLMER, through his foundation, last year provided, as Jen said, free eyeglasses, free of charge, through Vision to Learn for every child in Inglewood Unified School District that needed them. This project will produce property and sales tax dollars that will provide more police officers and fire services, renew our streets and sidewalks, and extend the hours of our libraries and help us to renew our parks. This project will produce millions of dollars in property tax revenue for the state of California that otherwise would never have been realized. Now, I'm going to tell this to the senator. I'm sorry the Assemblywoman left. It is my intent that when this project receives final approval, to work with Steve Bradford and Assemblywoman Sydney to seek forgiveness of the $55 million loan to the IUSD amortized against these new property tax dollars that the state never would have gotten. So Steve BALLMER, thank you once again for choosing Inglewood, and we are here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And as we spoke of earlier, we have many community support partners. And I want to bring up to the stage one of our community partners with the Southern California Trades Council, Business Manager and Financial State Secretary, Mike LAYTON.
Good morning, everyone. As you said, my name is Mike LAYTON, and I'm not from Chicago. I was actually born here in Inglewood. Right down the street here at the Centinela Hospital, a few days ago as well. But on behalf of the Southern California Pipe Trades, I'd like to thank the Assemblywoman for showing such leadership in her short time as being elected to legislation. We are thrilled to work with her on this project to build a world-class arena for the LA Clippers here in our neighborhood. This project would create, as you've heard, over 10,000 construction jobs here in the city of Inglewood and the surrounding regions. Ongoing arena operations would add more than 1,000 of these permanent jobs. Our exclusive agreement with the City of Inglewood expresses, as the mayor said, a local hire agreement, which means we will ensure that the labor force can work here where they live. This goal, once again, is to have approximately 30% of the workforce come from the city here in which they work. This is exactly the kind of project that the labor community can get behind, and it also motivates the entire community. With private financing and a strong commitment to the local community, we stand behind this project without hesitation. It is critically important that we build projects like this, not only, as you've heard, in the wealthy communities, but in the communities like Inglewood. With working families who embrace the job opportunities to revitalize created by this state-of-the-art arena, I wish to thank you for your enthusiasm and the support of this project. Once again, thank you.
And welcome to the stage one more community partner from IBEW Local 11, Business Manager MARVIN KROPKE.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen and members of the community. I did not have the privilege of being born in Inglewood or growing up in Inglewood, but I was born in Chicago. Corner of Auckeld and Sheffield Avenue, for the people that aren't from that great city, that's Cubs fans' territory. Listen, I am privileged to be the head of IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 11. We represent 12,000 electricians in Los Angeles County, many members of this community, and many members working on the project just across the street. Our union and the building trades itself is a hallmark of diversity, and you will see, as Brother LAYTON talked about, members of the community coming into our trade. They will not come into a trade for a job, my friends. They will come into the trade for a career. We are highly paid. We are highly skilled, great health benefits, great pensions, and we're proud of it. So I welcome that opportunity that this project will bring. So let me just say I'm thrilled to stand here before you today with the members of this good community and, of course, good mayor, great Mr. The owner of the Clippers. I apologize. Yes, thank you. Along with Assemblyperson Kamlager-Dove, the author of the legislation that we need to build a new premier basketball facility in this great city of Inglewood. My colleague from the building trades mentioned the importance of building revitalization projects in the communities like this to help create job opportunities and career opportunities that are needed here. I'd like to talk about that for just a short minute. The average unemployment in this area is substantially higher than the rest of the state. The average household income is also lower than the rest of the state, with families making about $20,000 per year less than other parts of California. We also know that residents here are much more likely to live at or below the poverty level. The best way to lift up these families and the entire community out of this economic disparity is to provide them with opportunities to find good-paying jobs with good benefits. This is exactly what this bill will accomplish. We know that residents in this community are more likely to work in the industries provided by this new arena project, and that they will benefit greatly from the shorter commutes to and from this work site and the building. The labor community is excited and stands behind this project, shoulder to shoulder with the people of Inglewood, the good people of Inglewood, to support this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Mr. BALLMER, thank you so much for that opportunity. Sports teams also have a unique ability to bring communities together, as we know, especially in this city of champions. And that's exactly what the LA Clippers, are working to do here. Thank you for your time, Mr. BALLMER. I apologize in the name.
Okay, with that, I just want to also thank another community partner of ours, Grant Mitchell, and the Painters Union. Thank you so much for being out here, Bob. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate it. Now, with that, we're going to transition to our development team. So with that, I'm going to ask our esteemed guest to exit the stage. And we're going to bring up Chris Meany with the mayor is going to remain with us. Sorry. He's also esteemed, but highly knowledgeable. Thank you. And at this point, we're the development team, minus the mayor, and we're going to take a few questions from the audience. Okay? Questions? Michelle?
How long do you think it's going to take?
So Michelle's question is, how long does she think it's going to take to develop this?
So we are committed to opening in 2024 here in Inglewood. That means we have a tight schedule, but a schedule that gives us plenty of time to do a complete environmental impact report, and with this bill, limit any challenging litigation to a year or so.
I think the gentleman there.
Check, check.
And that word saying that there's many that are afraid of being displaced. And if there is something that would help us to realize that there's something that's going to keep not only the seniors in place, but the residents in place, and I trust the mayor has already looked into that.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to mention somebody that's here, Rod Wright, our former senator, who got us that $55 million bailout loan from the state. And I wanted to acknowledge Rod Wright. Can we give him a hand? Okay, so now on the question of gentrification. First of all, gentrification is something that occurs when formerly depressed neighborhoods are occupied by people of a higher socioeconomic means. They upgrade those properties, and the people that formerly could live in those areas cannot. That is not what's occurring in Inglewood. Property values in Inglewood have been increasing steadily since the end of 2012. Property values in the state of California have been increasing steadily in the state of California since 2012, but more importantly, there is more affordable housing that has been produced in the last 7 years that I've been mayor in Inglewood than in our history of producing affordable housing. There are more affordable housing units by whole numbers and per capita in Inglewood than anywhere in the South Bay. The average rents in Inglewood are lower than anywhere in the South Bay, and including the city of Los Angeles. So if you want affordable housing, this is the place to go. Now, no one can force you to sell your home. We have people that bought their homes for $150,000, $200,000. They're worth $600,000, $700,000 right now. No one can force you to sell your home. So I hope that answers the question.
This is our last question, yes. Yes.
See a rendering of this magnificent stadium.
So the question is, when will you get a chance to see a rendering of this magnificent stadium? Chris?
So I'm going to give you a vague answer on that one. And the reason, though, I want to give you a vague answer is that the process we have been engaged in here in Inglewood is a little different than most. You know, oftentimes people go off and ignore the community in terms of developing a plan for the site. When we announced our intention to come here to Inglewood, the first day you heard it was the first day we picked up a pencil to start drawing a project. We've released already what the elements of our project will be. Our project will be the best basketball arena in the world. It will be the full-time practice facility and all of the offices. I think this is very important. All of the players, all of the coaches, and all 150 of the Clippers organization will be making this site their permanent home. That's jobs at every economic level here based in Inglewood. We have released massing plans, but we continue to take input, And as our technical studies evolve, we will be sharing all those with you as they evolve. I think you'll see the first images in the fall, but we will continue to be engaged in a dialogue with the community in which our plans evolve with your input.
One last thing, and then we're going to close. He also mentioned senior housing. We also have more senior housing per capita than any place in the South Bay. We're opening up a 40-unit building at Eucalyptus and Lime in Councilor Morales' district next year. And for those people that are prone to say now that it's sour grapes that Inglewood is lucky, there's no such thing as luck. Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And I have one last question for you. Whose house? Our house. That's right.
Thank you so much for coming out.